Forget the superpowers. The main thing we care about in our superheroes is if they look good while saving the world. Luckily, a lot of our favorite heroes have great costumes, and it looks like Phase 4 will go above and beyond when it comes to super suits. Today's video is all about how the Phase 4 suits will be more advanced than ever before, and why that is. So let's suit up and get into it right now. We'd like to thank you for joining us today. We know it must have been hard to pry yourself away from Disney Plus for a few minutes to watch YouTube videos. Phase 4 of the MCU won't just be movies. It will also include Disney Plus television shows, and we're more excited than Loki watching Matt Damon portray him in a play on Asgard. And here's the thing about Phase 4. The costumes will just keep getting better and better. Remember the days when the MCU's costumes were simple and easy to criticize? We could look at Captain America's costume in the first Avengers movie and immediately point out 1,000 flaws, but times have changed since then. All of our heroes have gone through some major upgrades, and Disney Plus looks like it's going above and beyond with new costumes. Like, we're super excited now for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show after the look of its stellar concept art. Back when this show was first announced, we have to admit, it was the one we were least excited for. We initially thought that show should have just been a 3-minute scene of Falcon giving up Captain America's shield over to Bucky because obviously Bucky deserved it more. Okay, we're calm now. Though, honestly, pairing up the two of them in a television show was a good idea. They're sidekicks who would never be able to carry their own solo film, so it's nice that Marvel now has the opportunity to turn the spotlight over to them to really give both of them a chance to shine. And thanks to the recent concept art detailing each of these characters' new costumes, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier might just be one of our most anticipated shows right now. Isn't that crazy? What a concept! Let's look at Falcon's design first, because it's all we're thinking about. He finally has a comic-accurate costume. It only took about 15 movies for that to happen, but better late than never, right? In the comics, Falcon is known for his red, white, and black color scheme, which is something that the film versions opted to leave out. It feels like, in their eyes, they wanted to keep Falcon as grounded and realistic as possible, which meant putting him in something darker and more militaristic. It made sense since he was a soldier, but fans of the comic character were wondering if Falcon would ever soar with a better costume. And now, it looks like our constant letters to Marvel Studios finally paid off, because Sam actually looks like a superhero now. Not to be outdone, Bucky Barnes also is looking a lot better and a lot more heroic. Before this show, Bucky looked like he was competing on Survivor, and then producers just left him there on an island for a few years. We're sorry, but that long hair was not doing anything for the character. Sebastian Stan is a good-looking dude. Sure, he was on the run for a while and then was chilling in Wakanda, but he couldn't find one person to cut his hair. Now, Bucky's looking clean-shaven, and his costume looks to be simple blue leather. But even with just that, this is a really cool thing. The costume looks like a modern variation of his blue suit from Captain America: The First Avenger. This is why we think Marvel suits are just going to keep getting better in Phase 4. It's because they can provide incredible callbacks to earlier appearances that are a real treat for people who have been charting Bucky's journey. But before we get into even more suits, why not subscribe to CBR if you haven't already? And don't forget to turn on notifications, because we need YouTube to love us just as much as you do. And if you're on mobile, make sure to turn on your notifications in the YouTube settings. Now, back to the video. Let's take a look at the rest of the cast, shall we? Sharon Carter is returning, and she's getting over the fact that she may have made out with her uncle by getting her own new costume. Her change isn't anything major, however, it looks cool enough that we know that she can kick some major butt. It's US Agent's costume that has probably intrigued us the most. We've known for some time that the character would be included in the show, and in the comics, he's the modern government's version of Captain America, and it certainly looks like that's what's happening with the character in the show. The concept art for his character looks very familiar, yet also awesome enough to the point where Captain America from the first Avengers movie would be super jealous at US Agent's cool costume. Another cool thing is that Marvel finally seems willing to embrace the more comic booky looks for its heroes and villains. Case in point, Baron Zemo has a purple mask! While Captain America Civil War portrayed Zemo in a more grounded way without ever wearing a mask, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show seems to not care about silliness because he is definitely wearing his infamous purple mask at one point. Hooray! Hey! But that's not the only MCU show that has us excited from concept art. A Hawkeye TV show is in the works, which will see Clint Barton training Kate Bishop to take over the Hawkeye mantle, and based off the concept art, we say it hits its mark. Remember when Hawkeye was put in very muted purples, probably as a way to make him a little less goofy? Well, that's all gone now. Both Hawkeye and Kate Bishop are in different shades of rich purples. And sure, we need to take all of this with a huge grain of salt. These are all just concept art pictures, and it's likely they will change before its final product, but we're at least happy with the direction and tone these shows are trying to strike in regards to costumes. But the look of a suit is only half the battle, right? Sure, you could look cool enough for paparazzi and photo shoots when you're fighting the bad guys, but if your suit is only stylish and not functional, you'll be joining Quicksilver and Black Widow in the afterlife really quickly. But Marvel has gotten great at enhancing the functionality of what the Avengers suits can do. They've gotten way more high-tech over time. Look at Iron Man. He went from a clunky metal suit that first had trouble going too high in the sky to a nanotech suit that formed around his body at a moment's notice and allowed him to summon mostly anything his mind could think of. The progression of suits' abilities has been incredible to watch, and even when the suits don't look as cool as we want them to, they still can serve a major purpose. Look at the quantum suits that the Avengers wore in Endgame. They didn't look like anything special, but they were advanced enough to travel through time. Just think about that. Suits that are powerful enough to travel through time. What we're trying to say is that suits have come a long way, not just in terms of look, but also functionality. And if you look at the state of the MCU, it's easy to see why. The world is an amazing place right now. Not only has the cosmic side been connecting more and more with Earth, but also things like the highly advanced Wakanda is now open to the world. This means that instead of someone like Coulson having to go to Macy's clearance rack to make Captain America's costume in the first Avengers movie, our heroes' suits can be made with some of the finest material in the universe. So we expect some crazy upgrades from these characters' costumes in Phase 4. Bucky Barnes may look dressed in something simple, but that arm is looking dangerous. Thanks to Wakanda, we expect some super cool features to come with it in the television show. The possibilities are endless because Wakanda has proven to be a place where they can invent just about anything. It should now be the Avengers' one-stop shop for all their costume needs. And the same level of excitement goes for Falcon's costume as well. We're all gushing over the awesome new look of it, but we haven't even seen the character's signature wings yet. We expect them to look even cooler than they did before. Wow, what a world we live in! We're at a point where we're saying good things about Falcon! Who would ever have thought we'd reach this point? But perhaps we're most excited to see what Hawkeye and Kate Bishop's suits can do in the television shows. Hawkeye's suit in general has usually been loaded up with a ton of nifty features that don't get enough attention that make the archer incredibly dangerous. When you're just using a bow and arrow to save the world, your suit has to be designed in the most efficient and functional way possible. And here's the important thing about the revealed concept art. These are all for Earthbound heroes. We haven't even seen the cosmic side of things yet. We've known for some time now that the MCU has been gradually building out its cosmic side, and there are some great things in store for its future. And with that expansion comes upgraded and enhanced costumes. Look at the costumes for the upcoming Eternals movie. Now, the Eternals are characters who don't need specific tricks or functions in their costumes because they're already incredibly powerful. But the design for the Eternals costumes got us quite excited. The color scheme and layout of each character's suit promises something different and new in the MCU. Our point is, with the looks we've gotten so far of Phase 4 heroes, we just know the suits are going to be incredible, and it's fun to speculate what other heroes are going to look like. Part of the fun with each new movie with returning characters is seeing how their costumes have grown and evolved over time. And we're finally at a point in the MCU where the costumes can reach amazing heights in terms of style and functionality. With Iron Man currently earning some much-needed rest in the afterlife, it's going to be fun to see where all the upgraded suits come from. Before, it was easy with every passing movie to say that Tony Stark invented new suits for everyone off screen, but now what? With the MCU's best fashion designer gone, heroes are going to have to turn to other means in order to get their suits, be it Wakanda or something more cosmic. And although that may be a bummer to some fans, it also allows for more variation and uniqueness in each hero's suit. So come on, Marvel, release more concept art for Phase 4 so we can speculate about it more! Well, that's our video all about Marvel suits. What's your favorite concept art for Phase 4 so far? Be sure to let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more awesome MCU content. And as always, thanks for watching.